Ho, 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 ho. What a week. This has been one hell of a week. This has been such a big week that I think I'm going to need some Glenfiddich 21 year just to help me wrap it up. Yep, that'll do it. All right, Special Counsel Robert Mueller, who is investigating Trump and the Russia connection. Apparently, it's looking like there's a conflict of interest. Is anyone surprised? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. It seems like every time we turn around, there's someone in Washington covering for someone else. And what's interesting is it's not really Trump that's doing it. It's the rest of those knuckleheads back there. Now, I sat down and I spent some time watching Lou Dobbs. He does Moneyline, he does financial stuff, and he does pretty good reporting, I think. Well, anyways, he's sitting there and he said, and this is a quote, that Congress is being led by a bunch of duplicitous, weak-minded people. And the judge he's interviewing, I'm guessing he's some federal big shot, this old geezer as far as I'm concerned. He goes, that's a bit harsh. And he goes, yeah, it's harsh, Lou Dobbs said. He says, it's harsh. But I've got evidence. I've got proof. Right? It is becoming incredible to me. And I wonder if it's incredible to you. How transparent the idiots in Washington are. This Peter Strzok's guy, or Strzok's, you know, he's got one vowel and about 30 consonants. It's just difficult to pronounce. Right? He's got a bunch of emails out there of him criticizing Trump, Trump's people, Trump supporters. You know, there's absolutely no way I can look at this and say they are dispassionate, disinterested. There's an arm's length between their investigation and their concern, their contact with what's going on. You know, Trump, it appears, is being framed. Or they're trying to frame him. But the framing is transparent. It's obvious to us that they're trying to set him up. Now, the upshot of this is not that there's just a conflict of interest. For you and I to think about this as preppers, as people who are aware of what's going on and we're taking steps to ensure we're safe when shit goes into the fan. Right? To me, it's obvious that there is an outright political war going on in D.C. Now, some people are asking, you know, is Trump a deep state mole? Is he planted there? And he could be. Fuck, what do I know? I'm just one man with his scotch in California. But I look back there and go, if they control both sides to the radical level of being puppet masters over them, couldn't they do this in a better way? This is a messy fight back there. By the time this is all done, there's going to be nothing but blood and hair on the floor. This frame job, this attempt to get Trump, it's looking pedestrian. It's looking sophomoric. It's looking like a bunch of grade schoolers are at work here. And I think that's why Lou Dobbs, right, he's just saying, look, that's enough. This looks ridiculous. These people are so heavily involved in the subject matter, the potential crimes, and they're investigating it. They shouldn't be there. Yeah, Mueller, I think he should be removed for conflict of interest and worse. As far as I'm concerned, he's probably part of the criminal action that's happened prior to this investigation. But let's just leave that where it stands and move on to the next subject. In the world of financing the government, Treasury bills, the yield curve, it's continuing on its path. This path to flattening out and inversion, what could have been called weeks and weeks ago coincidence, an accident, just a freak of the way the market works? I don't think so. It's continuing on this path, and again, this path is pointing to economic recession. That is, the economy is not working. There's not enough revenue being generated. And as a result, we're going to have some hard financial times coming up. Get ready for it. It's coming up. Over in the Korean Peninsula, North Korea looks like it's been reined in by China, by Russia. They're talking them down. They're getting them back away from the edge again of the abyss, right, of the cliff of destruction. Now, I get worried when governments talk about war and rumors of war, right? In fact, I think there's something extra prophetic about that. I get more concerned when countries start telling us how they've got peace all figured out. The only time I don't worry about there being a war is when no one's talking about war or peace. Have you ever thought about that? If we're not concerned about war or peace, we probably have peace. But when someone, especially political leaders, start saying, we need to be looking into stopping these people, war is imminent, war is possible, it gets me worried. And when these same clowns start saying, yeah, we got it all figured out, peace is at hand, we've got peace, everyone relax, I get a little more nervous. Right? I like it when they don't talk about anything, peace or war. I'm very suspicious of these guys. Today, what an interesting day. Bitcoin went up, went down, went up, went down. I think it may have finished flat. Not a big difference. I think it went up a little. But what was interesting to me is that Bitcoin paper, that is the ETF derivative paper Bitcoin, it closed close to 10% higher, while Bitcoin itself was down close to zero, flat. What does that tell us? What is interesting about this one sector of the economy, the financial market, the investing market? What's interesting to note, and I think we should all pay attention, is that on Monday of this week, they released this paper Bitcoin so that investors could bet on the value of it instead of betting on the value of the real Bitcoin. By the end of the week, 5 trading days later, we go from Bitcoin going up 10% and down 5% and up 20% and down 15%. Bitcoin's relatively flat. And now the paper, which is based on someone's idea of what something is worth, absolutely zero value. The paper reined in close to 10% increase. So what has happened is they've switched roles. Now all the interest is off of Bitcoin, and it's moving over to the paper. That's right. They're betting on the paper. There's interest in the paper. It's quick. It's easy. You can sell it and buy it real fast and make lots of money if you're a day trader type guy. And that's what's happened. They've sucked the interest, or they're sucking, or it appears, maybe I'm wrong, but it's interesting that today there's a lot more profit to be made on the paper side than the product side. Sound a little bit like silver and gold to you? Kind of reminds me of it. More market manipulation. Isn't that just awesome? Incredible. It only took 1 week for it to happen. 1 week. Within the first week. I wonder what's going to happen next week. Right? We're going to get all these people, I bet, put their money over into Bitcoin paper. Bitcoin futures, if you want to be a little more technically correct about what it should be called. It's betting. You're betting on the future outcome. There's more interest in that. What a strange set of circumstances to come about. What is going to happen next week? Well, I didn't want to leave out our good friend Megyn Kelly, formerly of Fox News. Megyn Kelly, that terrifyingly beautiful blonde woman who has done nothing but destroy her own image, her own credibility, her own career since Trump became elected. It appears, by following who is supporting her work and where she's going, that she's kind of aligned with George Soros. Pretty interesting, huh? Megyn Kelly coming from semi-conservative Fox News all the way around to the other side of the table, and she's sitting not quite holding hands with George Soros, but they're certainly getting their salad out of the same bowl at the salad bar. So Megyn Kelly is doing her best to portray Trump as a sex-crazed lunatic, that he is a sexist, and that feminists should be at war with him. It's really fascinating, the language she used in this interview of these three women that presumably or presumptively or some sort of pre-word were harassed by Trump. Now, the way the one lady described it, and enjoying psychology, I was able to pick out this lady's psychological profile pretty quick. She said that he lined all the women up, looked at them up and down, and they wanted to be treated like humans, or at least she did, with a personality and a brain, and he sized them up like pieces of meat. And this was supposed to cause the world to come unstitched, to lose it, to come loose at the hinges, you know, knock the barn doors off with that. And I thought for about a microsecond before I came up with the answer, which is, are you fucking kidding me? You're a beauty contestant in her early 20s, if not late teens, standing in front of a guy who's trying to sell the project, sell the business. That's right, Trump owned this beauty pageant. He doesn't want anyone with any flaw on his show. They're all pieces of meat. That doesn't mean they don't have brains. Doesn't mean they don't have personalities. Doesn't mean they're not real humans. But what do we see on TV? A beautiful piece of meat. Long legs, nice ass, pert titties, pretty face, etc., yada yada. That is a major factor in what is being sold through these beauty pageants. And it's interesting that years and years later, the lady's now going to come out and say how dehumanized she felt. How she felt dirty. And this is what cracks me up. These women are out there selling themselves all the time as beauty contestant pageants. Beauty! It doesn't say intellectual contestants. Beauty contestants. They have so much personal guilt and shame for what they've done that now they're going to accuse anybody else involved with them of some sort of crime. Now, if you want to talk about someone who's a bad person having to do with sex, there was this guy. His name was Bill Clinton. He was president of the United States. And he didn't just look at women like pieces of meat, kind of like he did when Trump was being inaugurated and he was staring at Trump's daughter. And Hillary even gave him a dirty look, and he gave Hillary a look like, shut up, bitch, I'm just staring at her. But yeah, old Bill Clinton was staring at Trump's daughter like she was a piece of meat. It was quite hilarious. Quite hilarious. But now I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Clinton in office. How about him inserting a cigar into Monica Lewinsky's vagina? How about all of the dirty sex pizza games they played? In fact, now that I mention it, they had pizza in Clinton's kitchen when he was president of the White House. And now we have Pizzagate. I wonder if there's a connection. Has anyone else thought of that? I did. Okay, so let's get away from the Pizzagate thing and go back over here. You know, Bill Clinton looks like women like a piece of meat. In fact, he was defended not only by Hillary, stand by your man Hillary, he was defended by feminists in general, at large, across America. They did not call for his head. And when they made the comment about Paula Deen, Paula Jones, the comment was made, well, you know, that's the type of woman that'll come out of the woodwork when you drag a $20 bill through the trailer park. Major insult. Insulting a woman who was physically, sexually assaulted by Bill. And he settled with her. through a court action. Where were the feminists then? Where's the outrage they had then? There was none. Again, it's the duplicity. It's the hypocrisy. It is the weak-minded, intellectual, effete morons in Washington that think you and I can't think. Now, maybe I just took my vitamins this morning. Maybe I just got a good night's sleep. But it seems to me like I can keep up with these clowns in Washington without even trying. That I can have a stiff drink. And nothing they say or do fools me, and I'm on top of them like that. How about you? They can't trick us anymore. It's too easy. Either they've gotten lax and stupid, or we've just caught up to them finally, and we see everything they're doing. The stock market is at an all-time high. All-time high. When is it going to come down? All year long. Hasn't had a 3% correction, which is something that always happens. It has to happen. It continues to climb. Now, I wish that I had a big pool of investment money that went up 0.25% to 3% daily, every day, day after day, month after month. That would be great. Right? But, it doesn't. And I don't. But it's doing that. Every time the stock market has gone up, what does it always do? It always comes down. It has never failed. The stock market, for all of human history, no matter where it's at, has always gone up, and it's always come right back down. Crashed. The only difference between the start and the finish is how much, and I'm going to use this term across a historical perspective, is how much GDP was there? How much was the gross increase in wealth? That's the real increase. So if it goes up on speculation, it has to come back down and meet reality eventually. The stock market has not. We are hitting all-time highs. And guess what? I watched the volatility index, which is the measurement of whether or not investors are worried about what's going on. It's kind of like a consumer confidence index for the stock market. The VIX dove today, telling me that everyone in the stock market is drunk out of their minds, just driving down the freeway, blinders on, just going, I'm good. They're making millions. They're making millions. And they don't care. They don't see all the warning signs on the sides of the roads. Warning sign, yield curve. Warning sign, no corrections. Warning sign, all-time highs. Warning sign, market indicators, bad. Warning signs, economic indicators, bad. They're not seeing any of that. They got tunnel vision. They're going straight ahead to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, because they're all going to be millionaires. I want to thank everyone for shopping at thepreparedmind.club to get preps, books, everything we have there. Prepper Connect, we have blog, vlog, everything is over there. Thepreparedmind.club. Thank you for going there and supporting it, helping us support others who need help. Okay. Also, it's the Christmas season. Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you very much for watching the channel. Over at Patreon as well as here at YouTube. We're here at Patreon and over at YouTube, doesn't matter. This particular video goes to both. Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you are all prepared. And if you're not, as usual, I'm going to recommend that you get food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense together with your plan. Every week I do this market wrap-up. This weekly wrap-up. We're going to wrap about the week. And I say, are we closer to shit hitting the fan than we were last week? Or is everything A-okay now and getting better? I'm continuing to see it getting worse. Economically, it's getting worse. Politically, it's getting worse. Diplomatically, meaning war and peace, it's not looking any better. So that must mean it's getting worse. Every indicator I see, worse. It's worse for governments as far as tax revenue. It's certainly not any better for us, the people who have both personal debt and stale or stagnant wage increase. The only place we're seeing real wage increase is places like California, where they have mandatory minimum wage increases. But all that's going to cause businesses to do in order to pay that is raise their prices for everyone else. Everyone else gets their prices raised. That wage increase that minimum wage workers got doesn't help them a bit. It's just kicking the can down the road and fooling everybody for a couple more weeks. So the question is, how many more weeks till the balloon pops, right? Till the curtain goes up and we see everyone scramble like mad, trying to find cover and cover their asses? When's it going to happen? You know, who knows? Even though they raised the interest rate a quarter point this week, which is another huge move. Huge! 25 basis points. How about just 0.25%? Same thing. So they raise it. What's that going to do? It's going to make it harder for people to afford to buy houses, cars. It's going to make it more expensive for businesses to keep the doors open. If anyone has a variable rate line of credit or debt, it's going to go up because of that. In other words, more money is going to be transferred to banks and the bank, the Federal Reserve, than last week. Now, compared historically to the past, our interest rates right now are historically low. They're just not at all-time lows like the stock market's at all-time highs. But we are near all-time lows. Until just a couple of months ago, we were at all-time lows, which means money is readily available. It's readily available cheap, which means that should be prompting people to conduct business, to consume or purchase products, right? To open new business ventures. But it didn't work. It's not working. We're seeing things continue to tumble down. They just raised the interest rates a quarter point, and one of the first things I heard about is QE4. They've already got the run to the printing press commands in line. It's going to be dicey coming up into 2018. The big question I have is to you, right? Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for helping each other. Look out for each other while you can, and then when shit hits the fan, we're all going to be on our own, looking out for ourselves. It's going to be scary out there. Get yourself ready. God bless everyone. Semper Fi, and I'll talk to you soon.
Ho, 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 ho!
Playtime is over. Get your Prepared Mind merchandise to show your support for the channel, stop censorship, and to tell YouTube they can smoke it. Get prepared now.